One of the most anticipated movies of the fall had its TIFF premiere yesterday, Saturday night. The behind-the-scenes dramedy about the frenzied hour and a half that led up to the very first episode of Saturday Night Live back in 1975.
More than 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who have never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns.
The film got a big response from festival goers. The audience clapped all the way through the end credits. And that's notable because standing ovations aren't as common in Toronto as they are at other festivals, for example, notably Venice of late. Eli was there for us on the red carpet, and he has the behind-the-scenes stories.
Live from Toronto, it's Saturday Night, which is the new movie directed by Jason Reitman that takes you behind the scenes of the last 90 minutes before the first show of Saturday Night Live went to air. Now, the movie is all about the chaos, the backstage madness, all of these actors meeting for the first time as that clock ticks away. The interesting thing is here in Toronto, the red carpet was one of the most chaotic, just bursting with stars and talent. Easy to see that a lot of the actors playing people like Gilda Radner, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi really were bonding on set and here in Toronto at TIFF. We had a chance to talk to the actor who plays Lorne Michaels and Rachel Sennett, who plays Lorne Michaels' wife, about how they deal with the pressure to play these real-life comedy icons.
Do you know what? At our chemistry read, we were locked in a room together for 30 minutes to connect. We were like, when is the read starting? This is so weird. So then we just started talking. Then we realized, obviously, they put us in a room to like talk before we do the read. And then the read was gorgeous.
It was as it was like in the moment, I was like, oh, this is the movie. It has to be.
Now, much of this cast is very young, really kind of giving you that energy of when SNL wasn't an institution, but there is an old guard, including the one and only J.K. Simmons playing Milton Berle. Now, you might not think he's the right guy for Milton Berle, but as he was telling us, he had an advantage.
It was terrifying as hell, but the good news was everybody I've spoken to in the meantime, and before, who was a decade younger than I am, which is almost everybody.
Excuse me, this is here.
I would talk about, yeah, it's all right, Tommy, see you later. I would talk about how intimidating it was, and they would go, who's Milton Berle? So I'm like, whatever. I don't know. Jason kept telling me not to do an impression, as he told everybody, and I was like, okay, good. I'll just be me with hair.
The film undeniably has a momentum. I think it could be a crowd pleaser. Will be really interesting to see how it launches here at TIFF. Eli Glasser, CBC News, Toronto.
Thank you, Eli. And Saturday night plays twice today if you happen to be in the city. There is early buzz, as Eli was suggesting, could be a crowd pleaser, could even win the People's Choice Award, which is typically an indicator of the Oscars race to come. So more on TIFF as it continues this week.